Good morning, world. I'm back again. Some people call me poet, some people call me prophet. My presentation name is not for sale. It's the gift God gave us, man. You cannot put no money, paper money price on it. Take all them names. Throw them away. They don't mean anything. The only name I want you to know on this platform is the characteristics of Jesus, the knowledge of the universe and God. And that's the names I want you to remember when I leave. Now, I had somebody tell me that, when I film my films, they can't see my face, and I need to go somewhere, you understand, and position, the camera so people can see my face. And that's why I say thinking outside the box. See, when I put God first, okay, that means I don't ever want to see, I don't want you to recognize me. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm doing everything the opposite of what you see on all these other channels. I'm doing what other people did not do. That's what I'm called here to do. I'm called here to do everything that they're not doing. Now, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Now y'all might why is he singing this? And let me tell you something. This is the age of Aquarius. Back before, I'm talking about before they used to write things down, they told the stories. Everything was, because we come from the fabric of the universe, and the teachers back then understood that. They did everything by the signs in the sky, because they understand that even like when you have a full moon affects certain people in a certain way, because it's energy, okay, and energy flows. So they understood this. Even when you go into scripture, the three wise men said, they told them, they said, you'll go follow a star. You understand what I'm saying? So even used it in there. But what I want to try to show you what's going on that most people are scared to tell you and won't share you. But because I know God is with me, I'm not worried. But the whole point is that when you go into scripture and all this, like I told you, when the scriptural canon was developed, they threw certain books out. And what they did is they demonized them. So what they told you, you understand what I'm saying, that was wicked, you understand what I'm saying? They kept to themselves. And they did that for this reason, so they could control people. Because this whole system is about controlling people. Now, in the age of Aquarius, the set of teachers that come out now, these people have been molded and shaped by integrity, honor, and life itself. And often they don't have paperwork. It's like me. I got a GED. Now, when you hear me talk, you hear somebody teach you, when you hear me talk, does it sound like I got a GED? I don't know what you think, genius level? I know how I see myself, and I'm not going to throw that out because that would be arrogance. But the whole point is that these teachers that come out at the age of Aquarius, they're there to tear down the system. You understand what I'm saying? And bring in a new dispensation. You understand what I'm saying? And so what it is like even when people go to church, I had this one sister tell me one day, she said, all I read is the Bible. I don't read that other stuff. And I'm saying to myself, she sure gonna have a hard time getting her driver's license. Because people don't listen to themselves when they talk. You understand? So this is why you have to learn from everything and everything, because you won't see it. You understand? So the whole thing is this, right? In the age of Aquarius, I even had people, right? When I was going through my fire, I came out, I didn't have no smoke on me. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you tell when God is with you. I had no smoke on me when I came out. But the whole point is that these teachers that come in the last days, and the only reason that you'll be, the only way you'll be able to understand them is that it's by the Spirit. You understand what I'm saying? And it's by the Spirit of the Word. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why most people can't grasp it. God said, what is first shall be last, and what is last shall be first. Why did he say that? God is taking people that don't have paperwork and putting them in positions where the people that had the work, that had the paperwork, didn't do the job. You understand? They didn't do the job and they had the paperwork. You understand what I'm saying? And so people are sitting around, hands in their pockets. You understand what I'm saying? And not allowing God to use them. And see, once I got to a certain place, now, since people did not go through that threshold, I cannot allow them. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not by me how I feel. I'm a man of God. I'm motivated by truth. You understand? Not by feelings. You understand what I'm saying? And so the whole thing is this, is that I cannot allow people to come in, you understand, under another train of teaching. This is why they often get mad at the prophet. The prophet is called in is when the teachers get offline. You understand? And a lot of people that are calling themselves prophets are not prophets. You understand what I'm saying? Prophet, that man walks by himself, like I told you. If you walk with that man, you got to be walking in the same frequency as that man. And people think that they can come in and they think they can camouflage it, and they don't understand that I can read you, right off the top. It's like I was telling you in my last bit. You think I got power with my words. I got sisters, you understand what I'm saying, that will have you stuck. You understand what I'm saying? And the whole thing is, I've learned how to transfer this information into a message that the people can hear today. So this is the time that people have to learn how to think themselves. And you can't go to the level, you understand, unless you did put the work in. You can follow my tapes and listen to my tapes all you want and go to try to apply what I'm doing. This is my path. You have to walk down your path and you have to get a relationship with God and find out what God wants you to do. I was explaining to a brother of mine the other day from outside the church, and he was saying that he was trying to show me how what books in the Bible were the most important, and what he didn't see. It says that if your name is not found in the book of life, that means this: if your life does not give God the glory, you understand what I'm saying? Or it's going contrary to what the energy of the universe is doing, you're not going to get anywhere. What I was trying to show you is that means that the stories that we have from all those other people's lives were to get this thing going. But you're just as important Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and the devil don't ever want you to find that out. You understand what I'm saying? So people give them more glory than they give themselves. I don't. You understand what I'm saying? And so this is the whole point, that it's now time to stop, get out of other people's stuff, and stop make yourself vulnerable. You understand what I'm saying? Make yourself vulnerable. You understand what I'm saying? So you can, here, I'm on the make yourself vulnerable so you can live, so you can learn. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you, I study everything. Like I told you, there was many years that Jesus, you don't know what they did in the years. People speculate. With my thinking, I think he was in India. I think he traveled to many places because he was a nomad. He's like a gypsy. You understand what I'm saying? And myself, it tells you, when people try to take the Bible and try to tell you what he was doing, no, you can't just use that. You gotta use common sense. Common sense ain't common. That's why if you think there's only one way to God, you're just a big dummy. If I want to land on this corner right here, don't you see those 4 ways that I can get to that corner? You understand? But I think that the main thing that God was talking about was love. You understand what I'm saying? Love, and the whole thing is that I think God meets people where they're at. Even in the scripture says, what is sin to another, sin to one person might not be sin to another. That is based on how much knowledge you walk under. See, me, certain things, because I walk under certain knowledges, certain things, you understand what I'm saying, I can't duplicate, I can't mimic, and as you know, you look at my channel doesn't look like anybody else's. And I don't want it to. You got people out here trying to dress like each other, and you know what? they was laughing. They was laughing. You understand what I'm saying? It's because what I'm saying is they was laughing at me because I wasn't like them. But I was sitting up laughing because they was all the same. See the double-edged sword? See the double-edged sword? You sitting up laughing at me because I'm not like all of y'all. But I'm sitting up and looking. I'm laughing at you because all y'all the same. You understand what I'm saying? So accordingly, you need to be known by your own uniqueness and what you bring to the table. What you bring to the table. I told a friend of mine a long time ago, I said, look, I'm going to let people run out. They run out on the platforms. You understand? You get all these likes and all this stuff and think that represents, you understand, power. Power just doesn't move. Power usually moves in silence. You understand? True power. It moves in silence. It's like when you're walking down the street and you see in them old mafia movies, you see the little old guy with the little poodle with the checkered pants on. Don't mess with that, man. You understand what I'm saying? Because the ones that's out there popping and shining, they ain't the ones with the true power. They're the ones that are sitting there with a certain level of power. You understand what I'm saying? But because they sit in their ego and their arrogance, they can never get to a real level of power because their arrogance and their ego will take them out before God don't even have to move. Their attitudes and behaviors will take them out. You got to remember, things are changing. The person that says, well, look, I wish church goes back to where it used to be. That's one of the greatest statements of ignorance in my whole life. And it shows you representations of that in Scripture. So when the Egypt went over to the land of Canaan, and they went over to the land of Canaan, and they seen giants. And they said, look, we don't want to go in there. You know what I'm saying? God trying to get them to have faith in him. And you know what? The ones that didn't cross over died in their sin. Even when they was in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? Even when Moses was on the mountain. People that refused to step up and be bold and step into their calling in life, them people, they were snuffed out. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why we have to learn how to walk with God. But I want to throw that out there this morning. And yes, this is the age of Aquarius. You understand? And that means, free thinking. And
what up, man?
And what?
Hey, I see you in a minute. So?
Not about, when I say not about free thinking, about going out and doing anything that you want to do. But you have to live by the rules of this universe. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't care what you say. Like I tell people, they stuck on this black and white thing and all this stuff. Just remember, we all came from the same substance. And the reason why you have different colors is that you had to come and live in the Caucasus Mountains. Your skin, after a certain amount of time, after your skin tone has a certain amount of time, will have to develop so it can deal with that terrain. You understand what I'm saying? And so it doesn't matter whether it started at black or where it started at. You understand what I'm saying? It's all the same. And these are the lies that the people on the bottom are given to keep them from being unified so the powers that be may control it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm getting ready to, I gotta go look at another job this morning. I'm not gonna be working. I'm gonna have somebody else come in and do it. And I'll be there doing a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? But happy Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Sabbath is over. If nobody told you how they love you today, I do. So let it be written. So let it be done.